Hello, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live, a special Saturday edition to provide you with some brief background on the 6 semifinalists in the Wigmore International String Quartet competition, which is the semifinals are going on today. Before I go any further, let me remind you, if you like our videos or you like what you're seeing, if you're watching on Facebook, please click the video. On YouTube, click on subscribe. On our other platforms, we're happy that so many of you like the videos. We'd be even happier if you will like us. That is, follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, or LinkedIn. One other preface that I want to say before this: if you're not interested in the semifinals of the piano competition, if you're watching this live, it's noon today, April 5th, Saturday, European time. March Vivo is just now beginning a lovely live stream of songs and tales from Latin America, with Juliet Lozana, a soprano, singing songs by and for women, mostly by women composers from 7 different Latin American countries. And you can find that on the March Vivo channel on YouTube. But let's get down to the business of what we want to talk about today instead, which is, who are these contestants or participants in the semifinals today? Now, I already did a longer video about all of that before, but rather than asking you to go back and dig up an older video, I thought it'd be better just to do a new video and briefly go over some of the same information, so you have it today at hand while you're watching the semifinals, perhaps. Now, there are 6 semifinalists. Each of them will perform one of 2 choices from the 19th century repertoire, which they have submitted in advance. And then at the end of the evening, there'll be 2 sessions. The jury will select at least 3 quartets to proceed to the finals tomorrow on Sunday. The timing of these, well, now I have to look up the time. The first of these is at 2:00 in the afternoon, UK time, and the second one is in the evening, and we give you the precise times in the comment box or the description box of this video. So let's start out with the first of these 6, which will be going at 3:00 in the afternoon European time, which will be 9 in the morning on the East Coast and 6 in the morning on the West Coast, for you movie people who get up at ungodly hours. The first up is the Quartet Integra, and they'll be performing Schumann String Quartet in A, Opus 41, number 3. I can put up a photograph of each of these, an individual photograph of each of these groups while I'm talking about them, if that may interest you. Here's a photo of these are young up-and-coming quartets. They have finished their initial Hochschule. If they're in Germany, their BAs. They may be working on MAs. They may be resident chamber musicians at different schools. And I'll tell you about each of those as we go along. So this is the first one, the Integra Quartet. They were formed almost a decade ago, in 2015, in Japan, when they were studying at the Toho Gakuen School of Music. They continued when they moved on to Suntory Hall Chamber Music Academy, but currently they are in the Chamber Ensemble in Residence program near the beaches of sunny Los Angeles, where I used to live, at the Colburn School in Los Angeles. Prizes: in 2022, they won 2nd prize and the audience award at the German ARD International Music Competition. That's the biggest one in Germany, I believe. And then they won 1st prize at the 2021 Bartok World Competition. They've won several prizes in Japan as well. That's the Quartet Integra. Up first was Schumann String Quartet in A, Opus 41, number 3. The second group that you have coming up is the Terra String Quartet. And I do want to mention they're from all over the world, from Asia, from the US and Canada, and from parts of Europe. Next, there's the Terra String Quartet. will be playing Brahms' String Quartet in C minor, Opus 51, number 1, if that's a favorite of yours. We'll give you the link, by the way, also to each of these string quartets websites so you can find out more. If this is just a teaser. They're based in New York City. They're graduates of Juilliard, New England Conservatory, Harvard, and the Curtis Institute of Music. They won the 2023 Melbourne International Chamber Music Competition in Australia. They won the 2023 Osaka International Chamber Music Competition, but I don't know if they've won anything in the United States or Europe. But apparently, they like they like to get on out to the Far East and do some competitions there. It may have something to do with in the mix. There are some Asians. Anyway, what I like about this group is that they, in their bios, they talk about conceiving as what they're doing as storytelling about the people, places, and ideas behind the music that they're playing. And I think that's a fine way to approach music because it creates a connection with the audience. Very often musicians, so much of classical music, the intensity of it, they're just focused on themselves. But when you can break out of that and conceive of that as, no, I am playing for the audience. I'm telling a story to the audience. I think that means something. They call themselves the Terra Quartet because Terra in Latin means the earth, the planet. And they come from 4 continents and speak 6 different languages. How about that? Okay. Next up is the Viatores Quartet. The Viatores Quartet, they're based in Berlin. They went to school together at the Hans Eisler Hochschule für Musik in Berlin, and they have gone on to studying at the Frankfurt Hochschule and the Hanover Hochschule. They won in January 2024 the first prize at the Mendelssohn Bartholdy competition. They've already started performing they performed at the Berlin Phil, the Concert House in Berlin, and elsewhere in dear old Deutschland. They're coming out with the first album this year. Viatores means travelers. They come from 4 different origins and cultures, but they're united, as they say, by a common goal. Did I tell you what they were going to be playing? I want to make sure that I let you know what they're going to be playing. They're playing Dvořák String Quartet in G, Opus 106. Well, I do make mistakes, don't I? Little ones. Next up is the Katarina String Quartet. And it's so nice that there are so many women in these different quartets. It wasn't always that way. They'll be playing Verdi's String Quartet in E minor. This is a group out of the McGill University School of Music, and they are currently a graduate resident quartet at Juilliard. They won the 2024 gold medal and composer prize at the St. Paul Chamber Music Competition, and they were first prize winners of the Canadian Music Competition in 2023. The Katarina, in the name Katarina String Quartet, refers to Katarina Guarneri, who was the wife of Giuseppe Guarneri, the violin maker. They stay in practice by playing for a lot of classical music societies in Montreal, and since they're recipients of a Juilliard Gluck Fellowship, they perform in community centers in New York City. Two more contestants to tell you about. The next up is, of course, my favorites, because I'm live streaming to you today from here in Stockholm, Sweden, and Opus 13, the next group up, is a Swedish-Norwegian string quartet. They'll be playing Schubert String Quartet in D minor, the Death and the Maiden String Quartet. What a great choice. They should be ahead already. They've been around for a decade. They came in second in the Banff International String Quartet competition 2022. They received the Norwegian Equinor Classical Music Award in 2023. They've played at festivals where the list is in the Netherlands, Oregon, Scotland, South Korea, Finland, all the major music festivals in Norway, Bergen, Stavanger, Rosendal, Trondheim, etc. And they have collaborated with some of the top Scandinavian stars like the tremendous violinist Janine Jensen and Anne-Sophie von Otter. They have even founded and are the artistic directors of a chamber music festival in Lillehammer, Norway, called Vinterspill på Lillehammer. So I hope they do well and at least make it to the finals. And then finally, the sixth of the groups has the very charming name, the quartet HANA. And it's HANA means flower in Japanese and unity in Korean. And there are both Japanese and Koreans in the group, of course. They'll be playing, they too will be playing Dvořák String Quartet in G, Opus 106. Do we have two that are playing that, the same Dvořák? Yes, we do. They have been around since 2019, where they met at the Munich Hochschule for Music and Theater, of course, since they're Japanese and Korean. And since then, they've also been studying at the University of Music in Lübeck. They won second prize at the 2023 Geneva International Music Competition, third prize at the Carl Nielsen International Chamber Music Competition in Copenhagen in 2023. They also won a prize at the Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy University Competition in Berlin back in those years. And they were at the big ARD competition. They won a special, I love this one because of the name, because it's French and German, Förderpreis Jeunesse Musicale Deutschland. So that's a lovely mix of French and German. It's always good for Europe and the world when the French and Germans are getting along together. Folks, that is what we have for you coming up today. Let me put back up the image of all of them. And while I'm at it, let us make sure that I can give you the times right. The first session is at 2 o'clock this afternoon, European UK time, 3 o'clock in Europe, 9 in the morning on the East Coast, 6 in the morning on the West Coast, midnight for those of you down under in Australia. That's the quartet Integra playing Schumann String Quartet in A, the Terra String Quartet playing the Brahms String Quartet in C minor, and the Viatores Quartet playing the Dvořák String Quartet in G, Opus 106. Then in the evening, it's at 7:30 p.m. UK time, 8:30 in the evening European time, 2:30 on the East Coast, 11:30 in the morning on the West Coast. It's the Katarina String Quartet with the Verdi String Quartet in E minor, Opus 13 with Schubert String Quartet in D minor, Death and the Maiden, and the Quartet HANA playing Dvořák String Quartet in G, Opus 106. Again, in the notes to this, we'll give you the links to both of those semifinals, and we will also give you once again the links to the 4 days of the preliminary sessions during the week, Tuesday through Friday, so in case, and indicate who played in which ones. So if you want to go back and check on how any of these quartets did earlier in the week so that they qualified, all the information will be there in one packet. I hope that this live stream and video it is a contribution of some value to those of you who are really enthusiastic about this or who are just discovering the Wigmore Hall International String Quartet Competition by providing you the kind of background information which I was not able to find in any of the information that was provided by Wigmore Hall, although very often I can't find things that are right in front of me. Anyway, now you have it all wrapped up in one ball, so you can follow this as an accompaniment to your enjoyment of the competition. And God bless Wigmore Hall for live streaming it all free of charge. They do ask you, though, to donate if you can while you're enjoying it. And if you watch a lot of these live streams from Wigmore Hall, it would be nice to donate something that's affordable for you now and again. Ciao for now.